Well, thank you so much for that kind introduction. And good morning, everyone. And thank you to the United Church of Christ for awarding me the Newton and Minow Award. I'm honored to receive this recognition commemorating the service of a legendary public servant. I want to start by acknowledging that we are deep in the middle of challenging times. And I could not have imagined we would be here back when I was first confirmed as a commissioner. The freedoms guaranteed to us and to the press by the Constitution and the First Amendment are in jeopardy and need to be defended every single day. As you may know, earlier this year, I launched a First Amendment tour to fight back against this administration's campaign of censorship and control. Across 18 stops in DC, California, Florida, Illinois, Kentucky, Maryland, Washington State, New York, and most recently, Mississippi, I've been focused on shining a light on the ways in which this administration's coordinated actions have threatened First Amendment freedoms. And later today, I'm traveling to Connecticut to participate in a First Amendment event at Yale. One issue I highlight when speaking on these issues is that the attacks on the First Amendment go beyond censoring content. I've always believed that your first action in any role reveals your priorities. The FCC's first action was not about closing the digital divide or protecting network security. No, its first move was to eliminate anything that even resembled diversity, equity, or inclusion based on assertions that actions private companies take to be inclusive represent invidious discrimination. We've seen attempts to micromanage employment practices within private media companies, including threatening to impose heavy regulatory burdens on companies that require the FCC's approval of their transactions, and attacks on public media. The Communications Act directs the FCC to serve all people without discrimination on the basis of race, color, religion, national origin, or sex. Historically, across both Republican and Democratic administrations, the Commission has undertaken efforts to address the lack of representation of and service to marginalized communities within the media ecosystem. All of you have long understood the importance of and advocated for, in particular, viewpoint diversity and localism in broadcasting. I thank you for your continued support. And unfortunately, the challenges do not stop with the First Amendment. In an indefensible decision today, as you've already heard, on Tuesday, the Commission reestablished higher rates that families for incarcerated people will pay for phone and video calls. This is downright devoid of compassion. We have to do better by all the families reliant on these services. All that does not mean that providers cannot recover their legitimate and documented costs and continue to provide IPCS services to all who need them. But it does mean that our establishment of rate caps cannot be based on hyperbolic threats to discontinue service and expenses that have nothing to do with the costs of actually providing the service. And the Commission should not reward uncooperative providers and facilities that consistently fail to give us data. One thing I've learned over the last 9 months is the power of dissent, and I have focused on using my voice strategically. I could not do this without the support of public interest groups and also of individuals. I have a very small team, and a lot of them are here, thank you, even some on furlough. So when advocates and supporters such as all of you share your knowledge and experience with me and with my team, we are listening. It is appreciated, and it makes our work better. And I've also learned that my speaking out to give public voice to our shared values gives hope. I receive emails, phone calls, and letters from individuals across the country sharing appreciation and stories of how what we are doing impacts their lives. And there is currently a really charming postcard writing campaign where individuals are using old-fashioned snail mail to send me notes of support and appreciation. These efforts, large and small, help fortify me when the going gets tough. I'm very much looking forward to today's lecture. I had the pleasure of Dr. Noble joining my second First Amendment event in Los Angeles this past spring, and I know it will inform my thinking on the many complex technology policy issues we are grappling with. So thank you again for this award.